Hello, everybody. If you're able to see me right now while we're about to go ahead and begin the seminar, I want you to go to the chat room and just say hello. I'm going to repeat that just in case you guys can hear me. If you're on right now, and if you can see me and if you can hear me, I want you to go ahead and go to the chat room and just say hello. Or put a smiley face, something of that nature. The chat room, if you don't see it, you can click on there. I'm going to type in something here. Going to give just a couple of more minutes before we get started. All right. Give you just a couple of more minutes. If you're already sitting next to your computer, I want to make sure that you have in front of you pen and notepad. You're going to need that. Hello. Okay. Make sure that you have a pen and notepad. This is going to be great. I'm excited about it. I'm just going to repeat again. If you're here and you're in the chat room, you can hear me fine. You can see me fine. You can just put a smiley face, and I would like for you to have in front of you a pen and a notepad. This is going to be a wonderful webinar. I'm excited about it because it's something that I do, that I have a passion for, and that's going to be one of the most important things that I hope each and every one of you bring to the table. If this is something that you might consider, or if you have not already begun your fitness business, it's something that you actually want to do. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead now because I definitely want to try to get as much in as I can with you guys within the next hour, and just tell you a little bit of how the format is going to run for tonight. So what we're going to do initially, I'm going to do an introduction and give you guys a little brief information about myself. And then I'm going to go over all the different details that we talked about in the initial launching of this particular webinar. So what you saw in the marketing on how to start, what are the 5 things that you need to know, how to keep your clients loyal, how to generate more clients, how to create client-focused workout plans, and also how to develop and create your niche plans. So we're going to go over those details. So I want you guys to make sure that you are tuned. And if you're here, I want you to know this as well. It is very important that you realize that time is of the essence, and that one of the things that myself and also my husband is Dontarius Usher. And if you didn't know, my name is Tawantis Usher. And what we like to talk about is purpose. And so I'm saying this and starting this as a brief intro for you all, because one thing that I honestly believe in is that if you're going to be doing anything and putting your time into anything, understand that this is time and this is this hour that you're never going to get back. So you're not going to get back this hour between 8:30 and 9:30 any point in your life. So it's important that if you're here, there was something that prompted you to be here, and I want you to take it for what it is, whether that be something that I might mention that you already know. I still want you to make sure that you're just really attentive to what it is that could actually go forth and that you're able to get out of the information, because there is a reason for you to be here. And you should make sure that anytime that you're using your one valuable asset, like your most important asset that you and I have, and that is our time. So I want you to make sure that you are prepared. And when I say prepared, meaning that, like I said in the beginning, have a pen, have a notepad, because when it is something that maybe that jumps out at you that you want to make sure that you jot down, I want you to make sure that this is something that you're able to apply, and then in the right time and in the right season, you'll be able to use what it is that's been relayed to you in a very effective way. And hopefully some of the things that actually I messed up on myself, even going through the business and doing all of this, you won't have to have that, because one of the things that I did understand about even creating and doing this seminar. My husband was just like, oh yeah, you definitely should go ahead and start doing the seminar. And when I first started the business, one of my friends, we actually did not have anyone that was able to give us any assistance or any guidance at all as to what it is that we needed to do. So this is like really important. So if you're here, let me go ahead and start, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit about myself. Okay? Hopefully everybody, eyes tuned, ears tuned. And in the last 15 minutes, I want you to jump in the chat room as well. And if you know you have some specific questions that maybe were not touched, I want you to make sure that you get those questions out and utilize the time and the resource that you have in front of you. Okay? So again, my name is Tawantis Usher, and I'm here located in Atlanta, Georgia. Now, I've actually had a fitness business now it's been since 2006 that I initially launched to go into doing the fitness business. Now, the reason that I want to tell you guys a little bit about this is because the reason that I began doing fitness is because, number one, fitness is always something not just that I like to do. Business is something that I actually love to do, meaning on a regular basis. This is something that I could actually do every day without someone having to give me any guidance or tell me any motivational speeches for me to want to do. So this is very important for you to understand as well. If you're one of those people right now who are considering branching off and you want to start and go into this industry, I want you to know that it has to be something that's not just a like, because like is not going to maintain you with what you want to do in this particular industry. As I continue to talk about it, you're going to see that there are a lot of changes and there are a lot of inconsistencies that you've got to be aware of that's like crucial for you being able to go ahead and stay in the business and keep it maintained. Okay? So since about 2006, what I did initially was that I actually was working somewhere and I began to branch out and decide that I wanted to get certified to teach a certain class. And after I began teaching that class, I wanted to go ahead and then find a location. That was actually how I started out for myself. So when I was working and teaching the classes, what would happen is that, again, I told you guys earlier, I had a friend of mine who actually we were able to go out and get training together. And that was actually what I could consider one of the best supports, because normally, you just, again, it's very difficult sometimes to find the actual people that will give you any type of just because a lot of times people literally just feel like, okay, I can't tell you that because then that'll kind of put you in a category of almost feeling as if you're in competition together. And the thing is that at the end of the day, you're going to have your own identity. You're going to have your own uniqueness, and you're going to have your own format and program that you're going to present for your clients. And even after the day, I hope that what you're getting here will be something that you don't feel like you have to keep to yourself, but it'll be something that you'll feel like, you know what? I need to help somebody else as well who might also be interested in coming in and getting into the fitness industry. It's very important for you to know that everything that you get is very important for you to also have just the arms and just have the desire to make sure that you give that out, because that's going to be the same thing that you give to your clients. So that's why I really want you to take heed to kind of like even that little tip right there. Whatever it is that you're doing, you make sure you want to do that and you give that out, because again, when your clients come back to you, it's going to be important because you want to make sure that they feel like you genuinely have a concern not only about their health but about them. Okay, so I was working at the job, and as I'm working at the job, after a while I actually began to seek out and find a location. And when I actually found that location, I started out with a smaller location. And I want you, because once you are in a place, sometimes we have these big grand ideas, but we don't think that, okay, how could I go ahead and just get it started? Because the first thing that you do is that you see yourself on a grand scale without thinking that, hey, I could go ahead and start this now on a smaller scale and let me outgrow where I actually am. So my focus was more like, okay, I want to see if this is actually going to grow, and if it does grow, and if it does have the potential to already outweigh what I'm currently making at my job, then that'll be what I would have on the plate to make a decision on if I'm going to stay. Nevertheless, it did. It grew so much to like literally where we were busting out of the room and we definitely needed another location. When I moved to the other location, now that's the caveat to that. I actually quit my job. So this is also another thing that you all are going to have to consider as well. Once you get to the point of where you've actually reached a growth phase and it's actually a phase that you know that this is actually something that you know you want to do every day on a consistent basis, and you want to be there to kind of like nurture it and baby it, because your business also has to be in the initial phases. Very important. If you're doing a whole lot of things and you're trying to start your business, it's just like it is when you have a baby. You're going to have to take the time. Like when you have a child and you have to sit at home and you have to nurture your child. When you have your business, you're going to have to really nurture your business. When I first started my business, I was at my business a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean night and day. That means in the morning and the afternoons, day in, day out. For a while, I was at the business until, again, it got to be so much to where I had to actually quit my current job. Now, when I made that decision to quit the job and go full time with the business, that's actually how we got to the point to where we are today to continue on. I haven't went back to a corporate career. I have no desire to go back actually to a corporate career. And that's another thing that you want to make sure that you are pretty much clear about as well when you're starting your own business. In the fitness industry as well, because of the fact that it's so fickle and you have different seasons, now it's the time for you to go ahead and strategize on how you're going to make your business so awesome and so great. Okay, so enough about me and actually how I started. Everybody got the nutshell about that. I want to get into making sure I can address all of the different things that you guys, I'm sure, want to learn in this webinar tonight. Okay, now the first thing that we talked about on here was what you're going to learn, the 5 things you must do before you start your fitness business. Okay, first thing that you have to do research. Okay, now, sometimes when you're starting a business, a lot of times you don't want to do research. And you guys may have, like I said, some of this stuff you may have already read. But the thing is that it's a lot of stuff that you already know. But then it's like you know it, but you don't know it because you actually have not done it. So when I say that, it's like you may already have clients. You may already be working with people. You may already have a good gist of what it is that you want to do. However, starting that business is a whole nother ball game, okay? Your skill set and your business mindset are 2 separate entities, okay? I'm going to say that one more time. Your skill set to be able to be a good trainer, a good coach, a good fitness instructor, whatever it is totally different, okay, than your business skill set. So this is where I'm saying when I say research, not only are you going to research, but I want you to do this and take this more as a time for self-evaluation. Am I also good in business? Okay. You want to know if you're good in business, and meaning that are you able to basically say that, okay, starting off on this business, I'm going to do all the follow-up. I'm going to make sure I call people back. I'm going to be the one that's responsible to get everything set up and get the business incorporated. These are things that actually you have to realize for yourself that have to be done. And in the initial phases, no one can do that but you. Okay? It's going to be you. Unless you have someone else that's already on your team that actually is helping you with this, it's going to be you that's going to be doing this. So I want you to make sure that you pay attention to that you have to make sure that you understand, just because I'm good at what I do, a skill set for training, for attracting, for keeping people, does not mean that I have a good business mindset. That is totally different. So I can't stress that enough to you, and I won't say that enough, because at the end of the day, once you get into it and understand just the value of what you're going to have to do as you begin to relate your business skill set coupled with your actual skills, then you'll see that both of those 2 have to be handled accordingly. Okay, so that's actually like your number 1 thing. Do your research and include self-evaluation inside of that while you're doing your research. Who else around you, okay, has a fitness business? What are the areas that are around you that have that fitness business? You want to make sure that when you do this, this is going to let you know, okay, now what is the competition that I have? What kind of classes do they offer? Okay, this is important. Some people may not actually like a third thing that you want to look for, and that is to research the actual market of the clientele and the demographics of the people that you have in the area that you're located. Now, this is so huge. This is like huge, you guys, because if you're able to do this, then you're able to also see, am I going to have a demand for what it is that I'm going to offer? Okay? Do people want this? Are they older, 60 and above in this community? Are they younger? You don't want to sit up here and say you're going to have like a live dance fitness class and most of the people are like 60 and above and they like, baby, I'm not going to do that. So make sure that you're very clear about the demographics of the people. And the reason I say that as well is that I'm going to tell you guys some of my wonderful pitfalls that I've had along the years, and that might be one of them, because a lot of times I'm going to tell you like a little trick that happened to me. You can go through and you'll find a location and you might see a location and it is gorgeous, but you didn't take out the time to make sure that the people around it were right for you. That's an issue. All right. So again, make sure that you take out the time to do that. The other thing, I want you, again, I talked to you guys about the paperwork and you actually having the business skill set. It is essential. We have so many people who operate the business, but you don't have any of the paperwork. You don't have your business name incorporated. You don't have anything actually on documentation to say that. Now, two things that you can do about this. If you're functioning right now, okay, in your business, you're doing work for people, make sure that you always put yourself on a 1099, okay, as a contractor. That's what that is. They're going to send you, say for instance, if you've established relationships with other businesses or anyone else that wants to contract you out to come and offer a class or whatever service that you're going to offer for your business, if you're a 1099, that way you can always go ahead and it will hold the taxes on that, and then actually you can pay your taxes however you deem to yourself. Now, unless you're actually over a certain mark, income level, when you're doing this, you really don't have as much to worry about as it relates to your taxes. So definitely, just for your business purposes, I would always suggest and recommend to you to make sure that you're having yourself down as a 1099, okay? Don't let anyone call you and say, okay, can I put you back on their payroll? If this is something that you want to do, then I really want you to make sure that you're making sure that you protect yourself and you separate yourself from a payroll and from anybody else's system, because now is the time that you're creating your own system. And in creating your own system, you have to have an identity. That 1099 is going to let you be set up as your own identity to do that, okay? So you're not going to be, oh, okay, I'm going to contract out with whoever the next company here, charter company, okay? They said they wanted me to come and do fitness classes. I'm not going to go and be on their payroll as an employee, okay? You understand the difference? Identification. Separate yourself, because now I have to think of myself as a business owner. As a business owner, that means that even though I have the skill set, I don't have to be in the category with everybody else that just say, I'm just going to use your skill set and put you on payroll with everyone else. No, now you want to be able to use this because this is your leverage that you're going to use for other businesses that you want to try to attract, okay? You want to let them know that, hey, this is actually what I've done and this is who I've worked with and these are my clients now, versus someone saying you're an employee. Totally different ball game, all right? So I went over 4 points so far. Let me go over the next one. Marketing. Before you start your business, this is key, okay? If you're able to market and actually do anything, one of the things that I just want to share with you guys that actually I did as well, I even had my nieces and nephews, they were having different events out in the park. I would have them out there handing out flyers. So I say this to say, anyone that is around you that is available to you as a source, whereas you can go into the businesses and introduce yourself, whereas you have family, little kids, whomever, that you can actually say, hey, go and hand out these flyers for me. The main thing that you want to do is keep your costs down, okay? So whatever you can do to keep your costs down and keep your business basically cost efficient in your first initial phases, because if you didn't know, your first 5 years are going to be the very, I would just say, most critical phases and years of your business altogether. It kind of like it's the make or break point, okay? So you want to make sure that you can continue that longevity, and you continue that longevity at all costs by making sure that your costs never outweigh the expenses that you're going to actually have to incur, okay? So make sure that your costs are low. That means whoever you can get, you don't have to say that I have to go on here. One of the things that we do a lot of times is that once we begin a business as well, you look out and you see all the different, because everyone is going to be calling you to help with your marketing. I mean, you will get advertisements from everybody saying, I have the best system. This is the best system software. You can put all of your clients on here. They'll be organized. It'll do all this. It'll send emails for them. Sit back. Hold on. You'll get to that. You'll get to that, though, after you make sure that you have the allocated resources to get to that. The first thing that you want to do is come up and find out, what could I do with actually what I have on hand without having to spend out all this money altogether, okay? Your best advertisement at the end of the day, once you start your business, hands down, is word of mouth, because people will tell other people when your business is good. One of the things that I've learned more than anything about the business that I'm in right now is that it is the people that I've actually been able to have as clients that have ensured that longevity, okay? So when we get to more of that, I'm going to actually touch a little bit on that, because it's going to talk about how to maintain those customers and keep them committed to you. That's going to go into the next phase. But let me just give you a rundown, okay? 5 things I just told you that are going to be critical before you start your business. You're going to do what? First, your research, okay? You're going to do a self-analysis. What kind of person am I? If you know you do not have the business ethics and skill sets like that, then make sure you have someone on your team that's going to be able to assist you, because there is a lot of paperwork that you're going to have to do, okay? The second thing, you want to make sure that you have the capital as well to start your business. I want you guys to know that anything that you're doing, regardless, of course we want to keep those costs low, but you're going to still have to have the capital. And when I say the capital, even as small as getting your business license, getting the business incorporated, getting flyers, all the things are things that you're going to have to consider when you're doing your business. So don't think that you're actually going to just go ahead and just run by it and just run through it and, you know, I pay whatever and go as I go. Okay, make sure that you just take into consideration, okay, now what are those things that I would actually need? If you're going to teach a certain class with certifications, if that is a class of certification, it's an expense. Okay, how much does it cost to do that? How much is it going to cost if I'm going to rent out a place? Okay, that's just something that you need to know. Am I going to have the money to do that? And then in that light, that's how you want to go about saying, how much time am I going to initially put into this business and how much I'm not? Because, and remember, I did not leave my actual job until my business literally outgrew. Okay, so you want to make sure that your business is able to outgrow and give you an income that will still be able to maintain before you decide that, okay, yeah, you know, I'm going to spend this business 100%. I'm giving it everything. It's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with giving your business everything, but it's very important that you are wise when you make the decisions to go on about doing your business. You just don't want to have to sit up here and be naive, and just because, you know, you might be, I mean, the best of the best, you may be, but there are still a lot of people and there are still a lot of things that you have to consider. And that is, again, how you're going to market, how much money it's going to take to rent out another location. Am I going to buy a location? I need to open up a business account. So keep all of this in mind when I'm talking about cost, okay? Now, I'm actually going to do something that's going to be a little bit more detailed if you guys want some more essential steps after this particular webinar. So just know, I want you to take down the 5 points and know those 5 points. And if you need more, definitely that'll be available to you. All right. So we got 2 points down. We've researched. We did a cost analysis. Then we're going to make sure that we have our paperwork. What is the proper paperwork? Remember, I recommended that everybody get on a 1099 that's actually going to start their own business. So when you start contracting out for other businesses, when someone comes to pay you, you actually have your business account set up, but you have yourself set up as a 1099, because now you're not an employee, okay? You're not an employee. Now you are the one who's going to be the employer. identify yourself, separate yourself, and go ahead and take on that new role, because now you're already thinking about who you are and where it is that you want to go with your business. So don't go back into the mentality of feeling like, oh, okay, now I got to still, work for somebody. They only pay me, because you're going to get a lot of opportunities as well that will tell you that probably, oh, well, you're going to have to come and be an employee. Tell them, no, if you would, please put me as a 1099. Keep that in mind, okay? Fourth thing, we want to make sure that your marketing, who are you going to use for your marketing? You're going to keep those costs down. Are you going to go and get everyone and say, okay, look, this is going to help me do this, and this is going to organize this, and buy all the different softwares that's going to be offered to you? No, you're not going to do that, because the main thing that you want to do is make sure that your costs are as low as possible when you're starting off your business. Utilize your resources that are around you. Utilize the people that are around you. Go out. Do your own flyers initially. Let people know. Go door to door and let them know about what it is that you're going to be opening up. Okay? And the next thing, you want to know your demographics. I want you to make sure that you know what is the demographics that I'm actually going to prospectively put my business in. Is this going to be a community that is older? Okay. Is it middle-aged? Is it younger? What is the income level of this particular community? Okay. This is very important, because if you're going to go to a community that is not used to actually paying a lot for classes, and you're going to say that this is something, then they're not going to value that. And it has nothing to do with your skill set and how good you are. You have to just keep this in mind. You want to make sure that you're in a place where people can value what it is that you have to offer. Okay. Otherwise, you would have to, in a sense, also consider decreasing what you want people to pay to come to your classes. Because if it's not something that is like an exceptional, just out of this world, that they're saying to themselves, oh, well, you know what, I'm not going to pay that much for that. So you have to make sure, if they don't have the income levels to even sustain what it is that you want to charge, they're definitely not going to pay for that. Okay. So make sure you know that. So those are our 5 things I want you guys to have down. So I hope you have them written. Okay. I'm going to go to my next little tab on here for you, just to give you a highlight on this: how to keep clients loyal and committed to your program. Now, this is huge, because I can honestly say that in my business and in my profession, I have been, when I say, I can't even express the level of gratitude I have for the loyal clients that I've actually been able to have over the years. I have clients who've been with me literally from the very beginning, the very first location that I actually started teaching classes at. And that is phenomenal, because one thing that you're really going to learn about the business is that the turnover rate is exceptionally high. It's very seasonal for demand. So when I say seasonal, that means that once you come into your holiday seasons and things of that nature, you're definitely going to experience a drop-off with clients. And when you come into the beginning of the year, just like everybody have a New Year resolution, you'll actually consider and have probably an influx of people that are coming in. But again, you won't. You have to make sure that you keep this in mind, because you don't have actually that personal, just the whole thing about that is just having the consistency that you would need to have from clients. And I don't want you to go into this naive thinking that when people start that they always do that. The first thing that people will cut in a house of expenses is their fitness expense. Okay? Know that. They can say that you're great. They will love you. But when things get tight at someone's house, the first thing that they will quit is they'll consider, okay, what are those things that have to go? The fitness actually will go before the cable. Can you believe that? That's what I know that's how you might feel, but that's how I felt, because I was just like, who will cut fitness before the cable? I would think that you would want to keep your body together and keep yourself in shape, and the benefits just of exercise and having someone to motivate you and just keep you going will make you want to feel like, oh, okay, yes, I definitely need and have to keep this particular investment. But contrary to popular belief, that's not true. That's not how actually it is, and it's not what I've experienced. So I don't want anybody that is here to be naive about the fact that, understand, it is very fickle and it can be very seasonal. Okay, So how do I keep those loyal clients? One of the first things that I do is that when I meet someone, and I hope, this is really more so of a personality that you have to have. And it also has to be with what I talked about earlier. It has to be a passion. There has to be a love. You have to really, really not just like. I told you it's more than a like. You need to really love what you do. And once you love what you do, what happens is that the feeling that you have for what it is that you have that passion about, other people, regardless, is tangible. It's something that they automatically feel from you. They connect that from you. They'll even have conversations with you, and they will tell you just how much you inspire them on a consistent basis, to whereas you feel like even in yourself that, yeah, definitely this is something that I know I elude because I love it. You push them more, you motivate them more. And one thing that you have to always remember, one thing that you can do to show anyone anything is just to show them just how much that you actually care about what it is that they're trying to do. You don't have to go, and a lot of people, they do this, and I used to have a problem with instructors as well that would even come into my studio and do this right here. If they're teaching a class and the only person that they're looking at in the class is themselves in the mirror, okay? I know that could be a personal opinion. That might just be how someone trains. But personally, for me, I don't agree with that, because what it does is that, to me, when you are really involved with your class, you forget about yourself because you're not there for yourself. One of the rules that I have for people, even when they come and they teach with me or teach for me, is that I don't want instructors that come in here and they tell me about how bad their day was, how they are just tired, how they don't feel like being there. Because guess what? It's not about you. Once you hit that door, it's not about you. And when my clients come there, and what they do get from me is that I could be having the worst things going on with me. I mean, when I tell y'all, I have had some very trying events that would happen right before I have to go and teach a class, but no one would know. They would not know. It has absolutely nothing to do with that. I went through an entire divorce before, and no one actually had a clue what was going on. They should not know. And I'm saying this to you, you guys, because I hope that you would take this to heart as well. You're there and you're almost like put in a position, not just as a business owner, but also you're like this motivational coach. So in coaching people, that means that when they're having a stressed out day, the first thing that they think about is that they value the fact that the exercise that they're going to be doing is going to allow them to be able to release that stress. It releases all that turmoil, and it gets their mind totally unfocused about whatever it was that was bothering them. That's your job, okay? That's what you want to do. And if you're not going to do that and teach that in that aspect, that's the type of people that you want to identify that will be teaching on your behalf, because you may not actually be the one that's actually going to be teaching these classes. And it's totally fine, but just know how you're going to find people that will be able to make sure that your clients are not only loyal to you, but they will stay committed to you. It's almost just like some people I've met over the years that have told me that they have this one hairstylist, or they have this one in particular doctor that they go to that they've went to for years. Once you find someone that takes out the time to value you and to speak to you and to welcome you, this is what I do with my clients. If I don't know their names, I know all of their faces. I'm very face friendly, so even if I don't remember what your name was, I'm always just like asking them certain things to let them know that I even thought about it, they wasn't there. And I would say this like an example: hey, you haven't been to 2 classes. I automatically remember that, regardless if I knew what their name was or not. I remember that they did not come to 2 classes. What does this say to that person? To that person, it's like, wow, I just thought I was just going to a regular class, but really, you really are concerned if I was here or not. That's important. Sometimes your people that you're going to interact with don't get that. No one cares whether they come home. Nobody gives them the attention sometimes at work. So maybe you might be that outlet, and maybe your business could be that outlet that would be able to express that. And then you have people to come in, and that's when they'll share so many other facets of their life, because they know that they have someone who genuinely is concerned. So the main thing that I want to tell you about this is that when you create your loyal clients, the first thing that you have to do is make sure that you yourself have a genuine, authentic concern about the people that you're going to be doing business for. Okay, you have to want to help and know that at the end of the day, this is what I'm here for. I was created not just to say that I want to have a fitness business, but it's more than that. I want to be able to make sure that people have a healthy lifestyle, and that would involve their mental and their physical, which would actually be able to be expressed by what actually I offer to them through those services. Okay, so this is very huge for you. So if it's something that you know you want to do that. The other thing that you can do that just adds a little bit of incentive to that is that you want to offer them some types of client referral programs. Okay, do referrals. I just actually ran another little special here. So if one of the people who are already clients with me, when they bring in friends, it's half off when they come to their classes. So you want to do any type of incentive-based client initiative programs. You want to make sure that you get information about them. When they first come, I make sure that you get a profile sheet of all of your clients. Get their birthday. Okay? You don't have to have the actual year. Some people may not tell you that, but the birth date is important. And then when it's a birthday, do something for them. Give them a free class. Acknowledge it. Let everybody in the class know, hey, when you get in there, it's their birthday. Even like I said, if you run it or not, whoever that you have over that, these are things that attract people, because they feel like when I come to this person, regardless of if they even think that your classes are the best or not, they like you. Okay, when people have a genuine liking and a taking to you, they will literally just stay with you, because at the end of the day, they like you. All right, so make sure that you keep your clients excited about that and let them know how much you care, and give those type of initiative programs. That's how you're going to keep people, and that's going to keep them motivated. Once you get into their world and you let them know, even if at the end of the day you might notice something about somebody and they're just not being themselves, or they just look a certain way, pay attention to that. Just like you pay attention to your business, and if the windows are clean, and if you need to change out lights or anything else of that nature, pay attention to your clients, because that's what's going to keep your doors open. Okay? The other thing, how to generate more clients in the first 30 days. All right, your first 30 days, how are you going to generate clients? The main thing that you're going to do is that I would suggest for anyone, if you are actually going to do something, get the community involved in a fundraiser type event. And when I say that, meaning that you can have an event in your first 30 days, you'll have like, get in here, 2 for 1, opening up your new business, get people in that door. Okay? Make sure you go all out. Get balloons. Make sure you have little giveaways that you want to do for your first initial opening. But just make it very exciting and inviting. Give them something new. And when they first get there, make sure everyone has a smile on their face. One of the things that it's not just in the fitness industry. It's in any industry. Customer service is essential. Okay? Even myself, my husband and I, we are sticklers for if we go somewhere and we felt like someone was rude or did not provide proper customer service. So I want you guys just to take this very, very to heart when you're considering, like, if I want to go ahead and do this business, because you want to make sure that what is separating you from the rest. If I offer the same classes that someone else has, what else am I doing that's going to really give me a niche or a leverage over people? Sometimes it could be your customer service. Okay? And that is essential. So make sure that you do that. If you have your big bash on your first 30 days, as people begin to enroll, have specials, okay? So what I would do a lot of times is that when people first come in, they would be able to get these monthly specials. I encourage that all day long, especially when you're starting. Let me tell you another thing too, real quick about you guys. This is actually going to be, I'm going to incorporate this part with also a pitfall, okay? And I'm trying to just keep going, because I know it's so much that I really would love to just give all the information out to you guys, and I know I don't have enough time to do that, but I'm going to try to get as much in as I can. A pitfall. One of the things that I wish someone would have actually just sat me down and told me is that when you initially start a business, okay, you actually have the momentum and everything going for you, okay? And when I say momentum, it's that if you actually have your business, you're doing good specials, you have good service, you get to a point to like where you actually have such an influx of people, it's going great, it's good for you because actually you've identified the right location, okay? You set yourself apart by making sure that you have excellent customer service. And in addition to that, you've started out with like this great grand opening, okay? You offering phenomenal specials for people when they come in there and they join on their first day, okay? You give half off to their friends, and you got all this going for yourself, okay? I hope y'all got all those tips right there. I just threw it one time. So you got it going. Now, once you do that, this is a main time for you to also go ahead and bring in other ways that you're able to generate income. Now, there are also other people that you can partner with at this time that would really be a huge benefactor for you initially starting your business and letting people know all around you that you may have not have touched, because remember, we're trying to keep our costs low, okay? One of those places is called Tippr, T-I-P-P-R, okay? What they do is that they actually would have a marketing, and they have thousands of email addresses, and what they do is they put out a special for you on your behalf. They go to your website, you make sure that your website is set up appropriately and effectively, so when people go there it looks clean. It doesn't look like, okay, someone just woke up and put some stuff on a page. So make sure at least that it actually is nice. That's another class, I'm not going to get into that, but nevertheless it directs them to your site, and people can automatically get the order or get a special from Tippr on your behalf. Now, the caveat to that is that you're only going to be able to get a certain percentage of that, okay? When I say certain percentage, meaning that you're going to get a certain percentage of those funds off of the deal, okay? You might be able to say that I'm going to do a 40-60 split with you, okay? Or a 50-50 split. But what I would always make them do with me, and I mean, they would bring a representative there, and it's basically based off your negotiation skills. And again, you know, it's on you, because now it's your business skill set. I would always make them do a 70-30, meaning that I kept 70, they kept 30, okay? Not the other way around. What happens is that when they do that, they put that deal out for you, and once they put that deal out for you, now you have an opportunity to actually be able to allow someone else to also be putting in that same groundwork that you're doing in your initial phases to get more people involved and into your business. This is huge. It is great. One of the things that I did not do, and I think was actually one of the pitfalls that I'm just going to make sure I mention tonight, was that a lot of times I was a little bit behind the ball on identifying some of those other places and people that would be able to be essential in helping me to do that. Literally, I was blessed and fortunate enough to have a business that literally started and maintained itself from word of mouth for at least for years almost, okay? For years. That is something that I did not anticipate, but it definitely was something that was a blessing. But again, if I would have known about also these things that I could have leveraged as I was doing some of those business practices, it would have been great. Another one just for you to jot down as well, if you did not get that name, that was Tippr. It's called Living Social, okay? Now, another thing that I offer as well, and I just want to make sure that you guys are aware of this, is that now, because of the fact that I've actually had the stationary locations, what I want to do is reach out to other people all over the world, okay? What I would like for you guys to do, and take this at hand, and I really want you to consider this as well, is that you don't want to feel like you have to be limited in your business at any point. Sometimes you already have enough factors that might be against you, and that means that sometimes you may not start off with someone saying, hey, here is all the capital you need to start your business. So we have to be able to think outside of the box, okay? One of the things that I now have also started to incorporate is that we have online classes as well, Okay? Why is this so essential? Because you know what? You might think that just the people in your area would benefit from what you have to offer. No, there are people all around the world that will benefit from what you have to offer. And you know what? They're just waiting on you to have some type of connection with them so they can just look at your face. I don't care if it was one person in all of the 50 states. If you have one person in all of the 50 states, that is literally 50 clients. Okay? Do the math that you're doing online for. Okay. I say this to say I want you guys to think outside of just feeling like, okay, well, if I do this, this is going to be too much. Or we think about like all of these boundaries that could actually come up. What is your niche? What are you offering? How are you going to offer that? Now consider what are the ways that you're going to use to take that off. I'm actually going to be doing something as well in a while, talking about online classes, what you would need to actually set those up. That's not going to be the entail of this particular webinar, but I do want to put that plug in you guys' ear because, again, I want to give you as much as possible that I wish somebody would have gave me leeway to. If I would have even, if I think back over some years ago, considered also going online, it's no telling where probably even today I could have been as a business owner. But nevertheless, we live and we learn. And now I'm able to sit here with you, tell you what I messed up on. So maybe when you start your business, guess what? You already rolling with online, in person, whatever, however you want to do your classes in your business, you're able to do so. All right. Now, the other thing I want to tell you guys about how to create a focus-based workout plans. Now, when you're creating your workout plans, now this is going to be key. This basically just has to do with what it is, and you have to decipher the clients that you actually are going to be having. Everyone, one of the things that was good about one of the locations that I had before was that diversity. Different people like different things, okay? Some people like a low like a low impact workout. Some people like a high impact. My majority of my clients have to like a high impact because that is what I cater to, a high impact workout. I'm not going to give you a low impact workout unless we're doing a cool down song or maybe like a initial startup. And the reason being is because that's just not what I like to offer. So you have to know what's your niche, okay? It's nothing wrong with you actually saying, okay, hey, I want to have me some people that's going to offer low impact, mid-range, high impact classes, because now you're opening up yourself to have more of a demographic. For someone who would like to come in and do like a more moderate pace class, that would already like disqualify me from doing that. Okay, unless I already have people on the team who actually were in place to teach those kind of classes. So you want to keep that in mind. And it has to do with your personality, what it is that you want to do and what it is that you want to offer. And then once you actually begin your business as well, to decide, are you going to bring other people or are you going to be the one that's going to be doing the job? Okay. Now, how do you develop your niche? And this is actually that one here because I do want to have some time too. If anyone has some questions on here, I want to make sure I have some time. And then I'll also just keep on rolling as we go from there, okay? But when you identify your niche, this is actually going to be, okay, now who do I really want to cater to? And that goes from you being able to identify with yourself. Be honest with yourself. What is it about you that you feel like makes you unique when you're teaching your classes, okay? If you're not going to teach, what is the niche that you want to offer to other people? What do they not have in the area? What do they do have? And again, that goes all the way back to the beginning when we talk about you doing your research, okay? You have to be able to go out. Even if you just walked into some place, you didn't have to take a class per se, but you do need to go around and you need to say, what places are within at least, a 25-mile radius from me or where I want to actually have my location, okay? Your location, again, is another thing that I just want to give you guys just a quick tip about. And the reason that is so important is because it's another pitfall that I've had before, okay? I found the perfect building. It was lovely, okay? And I wanted to open another location. However, in that location, the demographics just were not right for the business. And with that being said, that means that if you're not already making enough money to go ahead and sustain this location and another location, now you're going to run into some problems, okay? You don't have to do that. make sure that even if you're meeting with someone who's trying to give you the details about a certain location, no matter how good the deal is, you guys, it would be better for you to be in a place where you know you're going to get the maximum potential and return on your investment, meaning that you know you're going to have clients who are wanting it, they are ready, and they love what you have to offer, than going to a location where you have to wonder how many people are going to come on any given night and you have the best facility. Get somewhere, literally, if it's smaller, decrease the size just so you can get in a place where you know you're going to have the people to come there. If you go to a place that actually is the, like I said, the best location, it will not bring in what you need. And what you need is to make sure that you're able to maintain and capitalize on the clients. Keep the clients by offering good service. Keep your clients by showing them that you care about them. You keep your clients by being innovative and coming to the class with full of energy and making sure, like I said, even if you're not the one who's actually teaching, but that the people that you have that are there are friendly and they're welcoming and they really care about people, okay? And they pay attention to people. So like I tell you, if you're going to hire instructors, and when you have someone that's going to sub for you, make sure that person is going to sub to you and they're going to give your class exactly what you would give. That's what you want to make sure that you bring into the class. This is how you're going to make sure that you actually have a business where people will literally go and want to tell other people about your business. Otherwise, they will talk about your business. you really don't want to have the second half of that, because that could actually be pretty bad. It's always good for someone to say something good about what it is that you offer, because once they understand that you care, now they'll follow you, they'll invest in you, they will stay committed to you, and they will make sure even if you change your prices, they're going to go right with you because they understand what you have to offer. They understand that this is going to be the place where I'm going to get results, and this is the place where I feel like it's going to be the best haven for me, all right? To be able to be the best that I can be. Healthy, wise, physically, and excited about what it is that their body can actually do, transforming before their eyes. So, with that being said, I went over the points. I hope you guys had your pen and your pad. The chat room is actually open, okay? So I'm going to continue to speak, but I would like for you, if you do at this particular time, since we have about 10 minutes or so left, I would love for you to be able to send me whatever questions that you may have. If you have a question already about starting your business, what you need to do, or anything else that you feel like was not detailed enough for right now, send me that question now in the chat room, or pose it in the chat room so I can be able to go ahead and address it before we get off the line. Otherwise, until I see your question, what I'm going to do is just continue to go ahead and give you guys feedback, okay? So again, the chat room is open for you to go ahead and put in your questions if you have any questions that you would like for me to address before we actually discontinue our call tonight, all right? So, all right, I'll wait on you, but like I said, I'm going to continue to talk. So the other thing that I want you guys just to know about when you're doing and starting up your business that is outside of these actual limits that were indicated on your outline for tonight is that you're going to have to make sure that when you start your business that you not only have the time allocated for this, but you're going to need some support, okay? You're going to need support to start your business, meaning that if you all have family, if you have friends, whoever it is that could actually be on your team for you, because starting a business is not something, especially a fitness business, it's not something that you just want to go ahead and say that you are just going to go into, and you don't have anyone who's actually there to kind of like give you any type of encouragement as you go along the way. As with any business, just starting a business alone can actually be very taxing, not just on you in a financial aspect, but more so in a mental aspect. So you really have to understand what it is that you're going to do and how you're going to be able to do that. So that means that I want you guys to make sure that you outline what it is that I need to do. Create an outline for yourself, because you don't want to go into anything blindsided when you actually have a resource that can give you how you're able to be successful, okay? The information that I've mentioned tonight, again, if you're here and if you were here, it was something for you to take from that. And like I said, your time is one of those most tools that you will never get back. You're never going to get back that hour. So hopefully, even in the time span that we've actually spent, those were things that you would be able to take down, write for yourself, and understand these is the steps. And this is like an outline for me that I should know what it is that I need to do to start off with my business. I need to create that outline. I need to create a plan. I need to go by step, taxing out the first things that she initially mentioned in that call. Okay, those 5 things, those are critical. You got to make sure that you understand in that, and you actually have to understand that you have to do that. Marketing to your clients. What else are you going to offer? Are you going to still go ahead and just do those stationary classes? Are you going to go ahead and do like I suggested and start use some online classes? How are you going to market? Are you going to make sure that you have the capital to buy flyers or to basically purchase software or to even increase your ads on places like Facebook or things of that nature? Another thing too is don't depend on people who are your quote unquote friends on any of these social media outlets to be your main leverage for clients. Okay? Don't look for that. I don't want you guys to go into this because sometimes we think that the people that we actually know are automatically going to come and support when we have our new business, and they may for your grand opening. Okay, that may be for your grand opening, but don't feel as if that actually you are not going to be able to maintain yourself if you don't have that kind of support, because remember, it's not something that will always be given to you. But when you start off with a plan, with an outline that you've written out, that you know you're able to execute, then you don't have to worry about feeling as if you don't have that. Because again, this is your business. This is your business that you're going to have to take, just like I mentioned in the beginning of the conversation. You're going to have to take this just as if you had your own baby and groom it and nurture it from the beginning all the way to the end. If you want to attract more people, when you're having a conversation with them, tell them about what you do. Tell them about what you have to offer. One of the things that I actually do not do, but I got more into the habit of just trying to implement this, is that when I'm actually meeting someone, and if they look as if, they definitely, they mention the word workout or something of that nature, I go ahead and let them know, hey, I can help you. This is what I do. A lot of times what we don't do is that we don't also let people know what it is we have to offer, so they don't know. Your most valuable resource is going to be the people that you're going to meet and come in contact with. Again, those people could be your clients. We're not talking about your friends. We're talking about those people that you're going to meet that could potentially be your clients. And they're going to be your clients because they're going to see something in you that they value. And once they see something in you that they value, then they're going to want to come to your business and they're going to want to invest in your business. Another this key point before, and it's probably be one of my final ones, once you start your business, I want you to also make sure that you do not try to make it as all of your clients are your friends in your business. People, when you do that, and a lot of times when you're not actually officially incorporated and all those other things, you'll have a tendency to, be friends, and then sometimes they pay you and sometimes they won't. Make sure that as you begin to establish your business that you clearly identify that this is a business and it is separate. Okay, we got us a question. Can I describe some of the individual workout plans? Oh, yes, definitely. Your individual workout plan is actually going to basically differ depending on the people that you are going to offer certain type of classes for. So for me, I'll just give you an example about mine individually, and then you guys, whatever it is that you may offer at your business, you can decipher how you would go about doing it. As an individual workout plan, what I offer is that I do personal training for clients, and in addition, I do online training, and we also do Zumba fitness classes. Okay? Now, how that works, when someone comes and they're coming in for an evaluation, the first thing I do is when I actually create a workout plan, I always make sure that I find out, and you guys should do this as well, identify what it is that the person is going to really want to do. What do they want to lose? What are their goals? Okay? Another little quick tool for you guys to use for that is Google. Google, you can actually create your own forms and own sheets. That's another webinar, but make sure you write that down and look it up yourself if this is something that you want to incorporate in your business, okay? Just a tip out. Google. So nevertheless, you can create your own sheet from there. I send over evaluation forms directly from Google. So when people come and when they come there, they actually have a Google Docs, and I create a survey, I create forms. I have all of these things already set up and centralized, because what you're doing with your business is that you're creating that system, okay? So when my client comes and they say, hey, T, I want to lose about 30 pounds. Okay. First, you have to be realistic, and you have to let them know how long that's going to take, because based off of how much they're willing to give you, most of them are working out maybe 2 to 3 times a week with me personally. That would mean that, okay, now if you're going to lose about 10 pounds per month, which I think is an excellent goal if they stick to an individualized eating plan, they can do, okay? It's an awesome thing. But again, that means that they're going to have to stick with that for 6 months. And one thing I told you guys from the beginning about fitness and workout plans is that one of the main hindrance to anyone's workout is consistency, okay? It's a very fickle business, and people literally would always let fitness go before anything else. So in those workout plans, that's basically where I determine what it is that they want to lose, and I create something for them. So when they come in, if they're doing personal workouts, we'll go from the different areas and we target the entire body, but we go from those areas, and I make sure that on a weekly and sometimes a bi-weekly basis that I would do measurements for those clients as well, okay? So that's just like little extra things that I would actually give to them to make sure that they're on track. I also make sure that they send over to me what they eat. I create an actual eating plan. We offer an eating plan for our clients as well. This identifies exactly what it is they can eat to keep those calories down, so they don't actually out eat what they burned off, okay? So that's pretty much how it goes. And with that being said, if that's the last question, I just want to first, like I told you guys from the beginning, if you were on the call tonight, it was not by coincidence. It was something that you were supposed to do. It was a time that was created especially for you and I. I hope that you were able to get in and grasp just the basic concepts and understand that the most essential thing that you can do right now with your business is to make sure that you create a plan, you create an outline, and not only that, you execute. My name is Tawantis Usher, and I am definitely a resource that you will be able to use and utilize for not only this type of setting, but also just to follow up on. And if you guys had additional questions, you could email me. I'm going to put my email here. Okay. And that is, my business is called True Fitness. Okay. So you can actually send me an email to True Fitness or truefitness@gmail or tusher@theushers.co. Okay. I appreciate you for even investing in what it is that I believe is one of the things that I'm going to be offering for people for a while. I thank you that you have actually also utilized, and I hope that you utilize what it is that you actually got out of the webinar for tonight. Again, if you have any other questions, because we do have several other things that we were not able to capture tonight that I know would be essential for you when you're starting out your business. But again, this is actually just like some topping on a cake to give you a good idea so you can run with and know that you literally have the ability to do everything that you want to do to have a very successful business. I look forward to talking to you all at another time, and any emails or comments that you may have about this webinar, I welcome. As I continue to grow, I hope you do too. I'll see you at the top. Bye.